Hello, Wasteland! This is Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9001. I have successfully blown Atin's ears out.
Nope. I had you muted, bitch.
Damn
Suck it.
He's
I have a
learned.
hotkey just to mute you.
He's finally learned.
He's made a macro called mute sneak.
No, it was called shut up. It's called shut up. That's what the macro is called. And
So
it's just
basically,
mute
it's
sneaky.
the ultimate of silence.
So,
Pretty much.
welcome to this lovely Tuesday afternoon. If you're watching this on Twitch, I suppose. If you're not watching this on Twitch, then why are you even here, really? Question yourself on that one. But, I'm SneakyDevil, I'm joined by Max, Force, and Atin, and Cruel Rune today. Why Cruel Rune, you might ask? Well, the answer is quite simple. It's because a while back, we brought him on originally, and we talked about his fics, and he said, wow, they were garbage, and I deleted them all. And then, I found this. You
And
see,
he just asked me, is this actually you? And I'm like, fuck! It is actually me!
you see, he forgot that he
didn't
had
know.
a portfolio on a different site in which he did in fact post one of his stories to.
It's not even the complete thing, it's like half of what I actually wrote. But
Yeah.
this is the worst bit of the worst bit.
So this is one of his first stories, and as far as I'm aware, this was just a Naruto story, or is this the Naruto
No,
DKZ
Naruto
story?
Ruby. This is Naruto and Sasuke in the Ruby verse.
Right.
And
this-
this is back when I didn't know that things change when you put strong characters in different places.
Oh, good.
Yes, here we go. So here's the summary for this. This is Your True Colors, Naruto Ruby Cross. Taken to Remnant by Kaguya, entrusted with the powers of the Jubby, given a task and a second chance at life. Naruto and
So
Sasuke.
for a second, I thought we were talking about Jabu Jabu from Ocarina.
And some message me again.
And then you remember that
Naruto
Sneaky
and
doesn't bother
Susuke
with pronunciation.
find themselves thrown into a world where war is a daily reality, where peace is an illusion. Yes.
War
yes.
wasn't a daily reality
Yes.
where they're from anyway?
Yes. The second I saw that, I 100% harassed him over voice.
No, he said, isn't that just Naruto's world? And I told him,
Did you
The
just
second
describe
review-
Naruto's
the
world?
second review I got on this story was that exact thing. And I still didn't change it. And no, that's not even the worst bit. The thing is, there you go. Yeah. There is just this one fucking full stop before an and. And that bugs me so much right now. I don't even want to read it because I know there's gonna be much worse punctuation than that. Yeah. You can see why I deleted it.
You can have a period and then put an and afterwards. That is completely
Not in
possible
this
in the English
case.
language. But
Not in this case, there's a continuing sentence. The only issue is
well,
the
actually, no.
entire-
No, Kilm. The problem there is that in creative writing, as a means of putting emphasis on the second part of that sentence, that is totally viable.
but that's the thing.
It
You're
is.
supposed to read continually.
Then that's just
But
you
that-
being dumb.
No, you know why I put a full stop there? I think in my mind I told myself at some point, you have to stop the sentence because if I didn't put that full stop there, the entire summary is one sentence.
And as a result, you ended up with an actually better summary because it put emphasis on the sentences as an individual rather than a whole.
Except
So-
the summary is garbage.
You want to?
Yeah, the
You
summary is garbage.
accidentally bettered your summary, but that doesn't save it by much.
Congratulations! You accidentally polished your shit. It's
Well-
still shit, but it's a shiny shit now.
The thing is, I could have the summary for this when it was fan fiction was please don't read it for fuck's sake.
Oh, is that what it got changed to?
Yes, and the story's actually it showed up in one of your fucking I think the first time I came on.
Yes.
It was there, and
I think
the
we
summary-
looked at it and we're like, alright, yeah, we're not gonna read this then.
Yeah, thank you. And now you're fucking back at it.
And now we're back at it again.
We're back to torment you.
Yay.
It's the ghost of your failures.
Should have had him
Okay,
write. You should have had a. You should have written up a contract there.
There is like I am pretty sure
Kinda wisely.
somewhere out there in someone's hard drive. There's another like I wrote 2 more fanfics before this, may I point out. And they were okay, I wrote them when I was much younger. Much younger. Like high school beginning, you know.
Yeah, this is.
And
So you weren't quite as jaded and cynical.
no, I was well yeah, actually fuck that is right.
Look,
And-
I wasn't as jaded and cynical as I am now in high school. That's not saying much, but I still wasn't quite so bad.
So wait, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You can't go much lower than 0. But hey, as I was saying,
Sean, yeah. I'm gonna stop you here. You have to stop writing messages into the videos.
What is he doing? Is he writing messages just on the old streams again?
Yeah, he's like trying
No.
to report.
It's Chrysanthemum who does that.
No,
Let's
Sean.
be clear.
I'm getting pinged by Sean
I
right
understand
now.
Sean is doing it right now. I'm just saying it's Chrysanthemum who normally does that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, Sean's doing it right now. I'm saying like, "Hi, Isley," and shit pop up like he's trying to talk.
Oh my god. Oh, speaking of, hello, Isley.
yeah, I see.
Have fun with that surgery and internet that deserves to be thrown out a 10-story window.
Anyway, let's get on into it.
He'll learn one day, right?
Yeah,
Like, this
probably.
isn't the first time this has happened with him and Chris, I think.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
The annals of history describe the Fourth Great Shinobi War as a painful turning point for the history of the elemental nations. They paint it as a necessary war.
Unfortunately, the Fourth Great Shinobi War was nowhere near as interesting as the Fourth Great Holy Grail War, which is what we're talking about today.
Unfortunately not. Actually.
Wait, what?
Guess what today's other story is gonna be.
Oh, please
Oh,
don't
no.
tell me it's a Naruto fake, Croft. Please don't tell me it's Naruto fake.
What is this?
Oh,
What?
Truly, God has abandoned us.
What are you going for? What are you doing?
They paint it as a necessary war for the reformation and unification of the elemental nations. The war is hailed as humanity's last fight for independence, for freedom from the world's most defiled bloodline. Kishimoto.
Hey!
Oh god.
Here I thought we were going to get a Clinton joke.
Don't worry, it only gets worse. This one I can tell you.
Zeke's remembered that Sneaky has a tendency to wake up his mother for once and reached for the headphones.
Yeah, Isley.
Oh,
was the one to say God abandoned us.
Because I'm so loud, I wake up Zeke's his mom in Russia. Excellent.
You know, that is something I don't think you've ever been able to lay claim to until now. I woke someone's mom up all the way in Russia.
By screaming.
You're moving up in the world, Sneaky.
I am.
Double.
They paint it as a war fought by heroes, ones who descended from wings of fire, and put an end to the war instantly. What the fuck is this, Cruel?
Listen, as I said before.
How high?
Oh, I actually did write this completely.
I'm not surprised.
Before I quit smoking up, this is how I wrote. I literally have a joint in my fucking mouth and I just start writing. I am not shitting you.
No, I
And
fully
editing-
believe you.
I
But
didn't even learn that editing was a thing till chapter 2.
I
When
fully
some dude
believe
said,
you
I can
here.
pay it up for you.
But I just like that we finally have it on record. We now have an author on stream who wrote while high.
Yes.
What?
I mean,
Oh, wait,
now,
no,
to be
no,
fair,
you
two-step
can't walk
goodbye
all
is written when we're both exceedingly drunk.
Oh, well, yeah, that was true. Two-step goodbye has so many parts that were written when we were both off our fucking rocker.
Yeah. I guess technically I've written with Sneaky on a pseudo high.
Yeah.
I mean, massive sleep deprivation counts.
Yeah, it does. Anyway. It is
Think it
said
gets
that
weird at 3 in the
history
morning.
is written by the victor. Well, yeah, it said that because typically the defeated people are dead. And if they're writing history, then there's a bigger problem. And that no war is ever truly won.
Let that sink in.
Well, I want to dispute that, but at the same time...
Is this an I am 12 and this is deep moment, Sneaky?
No, this is entire
No, at the same time, I just feel an overwhelming urge to rebel against the British Kingdom.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway.
You got it out of your system.
I got it out of my system. In the case of the Fourth Great Shinobi War, both are true. The war... I am 12 and this is deep. The war ended with the destruction of Shinobi society as a whole. It ended up killing or crippling everyone.
Basically.
It ended in the death of every authority figure. It truly signified the end of an era. It signified the coming of a new age of unified shinobi. But what truly heralded the coming of the era was the disappearance of the tailed beasts and the world's strongest bloodlines, including the Shararan and Ranagan.
You want to try that again?
No, I think I nailed it.
Shigangoko.
Hello, Devil Spidey. Oh no, my sanity's long gone because you haven't been here. Needless to say, the container of the tailed beasts and the last user of the Shirananagon also disappeared mysteriously. I am 12 and this is deep. Were they killed? Were they transported elsewhere? Were they exiled? The new era will never know, for the two true heroes of the war, Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha, are recorded as missing in action, because Spartans never die.
Alright, Sigi, considering what you read of this, what do you think the numbers for this fic would?
I would assume at least 3,000 favorites.
It was 2,000 favorites, 2,000 followers.
Yeah, I was expecting around that much.
Garbage.
Naruto's eyes are an indication of how high Cruel was.
Yes, it is. Listen, at that point, I honestly believed that my blood group was THC.
The fact that Kaguya Utsuki, the rabbit goddess, was sealed in order to end the war. Wouldn't one say the two boys succeeded? In that case, where did they go? The world may never know.
Okay, so I'm ready to face the show because I just got to eat a giant pretzel hot from a giant pretzel place.
I am now jealous. I really like.
Listen, I may be 2 hours outside of Chicago, but that does not mean there are not like a million places to get amazing snacks that are terrible for you.
Anyway, are you ready to go?
Had
There's a hot
Your
dog place up the street
true
from me.
colors.
There's a hot dog place. The fries.
Remnant.
Listen to me. If you let those
No.
fries cool off for even a minute, they will be the most disgusting thing you've ever eaten. But as long as you eat them hot out of the fryer, it's amazing.
Snow. He finally managed to open his eyes, to be greeted by a snow-covered forest. Beside him lay the unconscious prone form of his best friend and erstwhile rival, Sasuke Uchiha. Naruto tried to get up, but severe chakra depletion caused him to fail. Instead, Naruto drew on nature's chakra from the forest, expecting to recover enough strength to stand up. In around a minute, Naruto entered Sage Mode. And that was then he realized he was no longer in the elemental nations. The realization came when he sensed other creatures, soulless masses of nature chakra, dotted around him for miles. They were all over the forest, living, killing anything that lived. What made it worse was the fact that these creatures felt like animals created by the Rinnegan's animal path. They felt like chakra, programmed in a given shape.
Fuck's sake, cruel.
I told you. This was me beginning. And I'm actually quite happy that this shit happened because it fucking forced me to become a better author.
I mean, that's great, but we have to read this now.
I mean,
Okay.
I didn't just go read
I
it.
have to agree with Zeke's. I kind of do want to see a Naruto turns evil because he entered Sage Mode in the either D times D or the Remnant world.
Well, go write it.
I mean, that's pretty much what would happen.
Zex,
But-
write it.
I'm trash at writing. I couldn't write.
We all are.
Kill
You're
him. Go
reading
be
my-
his voice.
No, honestly, this was my first. There were 2 more before this. Those I'm... Yeah, 2 more before this. And those I'm glad will never be found anywhere.
Oh, just for that, I'm gonna use the goddamn Wayback Machine to find them.
Trust me, you won't.
Anyway, see, this is why I'm glad that my first work was collaborative and that I'm working with someone like Max. It limits the stupid.
Now, back when I wrote this, I had no friends on the side or anything. I had no people who I knew that wrote fanfiction. Oh, yeah, Zach, there might be those. Let's see. If you can find them, you can have a night of very, very restless sleep.
I mean, if I find them, I'll read them and then I'll commit suicide. So I'm not
No,
going to
you
look.
Trust me, those fics make the fics you read here on a daily basis look like God's gift to literature.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'll read them after
I
the 25th
refuse
when the
to
when
believe
TI
that.
is over.
Kill.
I don't want to miss
Right.
TI.
Listen. Oh yeah, fuck, I don't want to miss TI either. What I'm saying.
Listen, this is the year that EG wins, and by EG I mean Optic, and by Optic I mean Team Liquid.
And by
Oh,
Team
yeah.
Liquid, you actually mean Navi.
By Navi, you
Yes.
are Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro.
No. By Navi I mean Alliance. Bulldog's back, baby.
Bulldogga.
Bulldog's always back.
Team Omega Lul Tryhard.
And by Alliance's back, you mean Fnatic.
Of course. But no,
And
no,
by
no,
Fnatic I mean
no,
StarCraft 2 is making a resurgence. How much deeper down the hole can we go, Sneaky?
Not deep enough.
I mean, come on, man. Aeon of Strife is the new thing on the market.
Okay, look, all I'm saying is Brood War's coming back.
And all I'm saying is... Satsuki! We are no longer in the Elemental Nations!
Hey, Sneaky,
Now you're
great
just
segue.
saying other Japanese names. Son of a bitch.
Shabalama Ding Dong, we've departed the elemental nations.
Listen, I'm just telling you. Paris Saint-Germain have this World Cup.
Okay.
Oh no, Sneaky, what have you done to us?
What?
I
What's
decided to
Sneaky
look
done
up
now?
I decided to look up Naruto Satsuki, and it pulled up the Naruto fanon wiki for Satsuki Uchiha.
I mean, of course.
Oh no.
Getting that the fanon.
You
That was-
motherfucker! Oh god, this is a bad drawing. What the fuck is wrong with it?
I don't know.
hell?
I'm still proud of my "fuck you" joke that I made in Two Step Goodbye.
There are many of those jokes. Which one are you talking about, Sneaky?
Who's your partner, Roman? Oh yeah, her name's "fuck you." Really? Yeah, she's from Patch.
I'm sorry, she's from where?
Patch.
Oh.
And then he gets punched.
We may steal that joke.
Now, the Roman interrogation arc was possibly like the coolest fucking thing to come up with this guy.
I was really happy.
Speaking of Max, we do need to write another chapter of our shitpost.
I mean, you could do that, or you could start this shitpost with the rest of them.
I'm sorry, what the fuck? Kaguya shows up? Okay.
Yes! No! She shows up, she gives Naruto and Sasuke sage powers and fucks off.
But they already
They
had
already
sage
have
powers.
They
No, like,
already
proper. She gave both the other person's power as well.
No, they both already they were both already capable of using. What the
He gave Naruto the Rinnegan and the Rinnegan and Sasuke the fucking truth-seeking ball.
kill no.
Wait, why does Sasuke have the Rinnegan? I thought that was Pain's thing.
No, he has the Sharinanagon.
No,
He has the
Sharingan-
eternal Mangekyo.
No, I thought he said he had the Rinnegan.
Sharinanagon.
Yeah, no, the completed thing, the thing he got, the Sharon Rinnegan thing he picked.
Oh, okay.
The true
Yeah.
Rinnegan, yeah. Kill no.
No, trust me, it gets worse after that.
Oh boy, well let me read it.
How?
Well, you can find out if y'all shut the fuck
Without
up!
being in canon.
A question for True Sneaky Devil and Kiln. How many fics tended to be written before the author, and I quote, gets good?
Honestly, it's
infinite.
fine.
You know what?
Outlander.
Actually, no, we can do this real simple, Sneaky. There are 4 of us sitting in stream right now. 3 of us have published stories prior to getting good. 1 of us got to start with a handicap of having another experienced author. So at
Correct.
least 75%. 3 out of 4 authors start off with bad fics before getting good. At least.
Personally,
And I cheated. Technically.
personally, I believe that you never truly get good. You just
I think
get.
Isaac's talking more about how many fics to write before you get.
That's what I'm saying. I personally believe that you never get good as an author. You can always get better, but there is a limit at which point the general populace really can't tell the difference between a clever future event and you just being overly detailed.
I would
that
have just made
point-
the argument that getting good involves actually mastering the English language to a
Honestly,
reasonable
there
degree.
is no mastering the English language.
Honestly, as far as
To a
I
reasonable degree,
recommend,
Sneaky.
You write your garbage, and then you make people who you think are better than you read your garbage.
Yeah, I
And
would
then
say
you delete all your
honestly,
garbage and start a new garbage, which will be marginally better than the old garbage. Do the same thing, and around the 3rd time you do this, you'll finally reach a point where you can be like, all right, this sounds sound. It took me like 4 of these repetitions to get to a point where I can get something published.
I mean, it really depends on how much writing you did before you started publishing, on how much time you spent focusing on the English language, how naturally talented you are, because that is a factor. There are some people who are just naturally good at writing in English,
Yeah,
and
I was not one of them.
I'm not one of them.
And see, in my case, I had to learn the language first properly because my first 2 fics. Okay, I was telling Max that it's worse than the garbage you read here, and that's because in the first few fics I had no idea what perspective is. I had no idea what a paragraph is properly. I had no idea what the periods. I had no idea what the fuck a comma
Okay,
is.
but here's the thing. You're Indian. You at least have an excuse.
Yeah, like you just admitted that you had to learn the language. That immediately gets you a little bit of slack because you also took the time to learn.
Like, there are
And you
people.
kept applying yourself.
I honestly,
Joe-
I feel around 4
Now,
stories.
granted, I'm not saying the U.S.'s school system is the best, but I am saying it's better than what these people churn out.
Would you agree with me on this, Max and Cruel? Would you say around 4 stories is when you actually start to get an idea, generally, of what you're actually supposed to be doing?
That depends on the story itself. Like, for
Fair
me, it took 1.5 stories, technically. But that's because
Your story was like a
my
million.
first story was 100K, and my second story was, like, nearly 500K.
Right.
Exactly.
So
You're
I had a
really close to-
huge fucking jump.
But
over
you
the
could
course of
you
the
could
second
technically
story.
consider that to be around 3 to 4 books.
Yeah, by the time you've written at least 2 books, you start getting an idea and a feel of what you should be doing as writing. And if you were like me and you were just a fucking bookworm,
Right.
like you didn't know what manga was until your senior year of high school,
Yeah, same.
you learned a lot just through osmosis alone
Guys,
by reading a bunch of
get
different
more, please
articles.
out.
Neat. We'll cover that afterwards. The 50K story was, I believe that was your Halo Infamous cross?
She's asking about the 500K. The Halo Infamous is sitting at about 45K, and that was one of the ones where it's like,
it's
oh
your
shit,
Mega Man
I know what
set,
I'm
right?
doing.
The 500K is your Mega Man then?
Yeah, that was the Return of the Zones, which was a sequel to my first one. That's one of those ones that's like, I should just rewrite this completely because young me was a fucking idiot that left
Yeah.
plot threads everywhere.
Listen, I think most human beings are entitled to the statement, young me was stupid.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so we can't really quantify, Isley, when you get good. It really depends on your own personal talent.
Listen, it comes somewhere between 7K and 8K MMR.
It depends
Alright,
highly on
guys.
your personal talent. It depends highly on how much you get in terms of feedback and in how much you react to that feedback and how good that feedback is. Because I've seen plenty of authors who get a shit ton of feedback, but it's all like, this is great. When next chapter? And
you have to actively
that-
seek out
Yeah.
feedback from authors that you believe are good.
yeah,
And
And
well,
sometimes you get people like Sneaky, who are terrible human beings, but will sometimes, occasionally, maybe give decent advice.
yeah, personally, I feel like...
I learned a lot about writing certain types of characters with writing this. I'm pretty sure if I wrote with Max, I'd learn just as much.
I personally feel like you learn a lot more by people disliking your work than you get
Yeah.
from people liking your work.
I want to agree with you, but the problem is I had the opposite experience where because I had that first review that said, this is an interesting idea, I want to see where you go with it, and they were humoring a 15-year-old me, that pushed me to continue going, and
Oh, well, no,
further I got, the more it was like,
that's
actually, this writing is trash, but I've improved since then over the course
yeah,
of
but
a
Max,
year and a
that's
half.
not what I'm saying though. I'm saying on
that's
terms
really
of learning from
right.
feedback.
Yeah, the issue though is that I was my own feedback once I started properly editing everything.
Yeah,
so
I
like,
guess,
I'm one of
but-
those. As a generalized statement, I could say that's probably true for probably 60% of people, but I'm one of those outliers that improved through sheer force of will
And
and with very little feedback in terms of criticism.
What?
Atin, Sneaky Treasure 3 is garbage.
Yeah, we figured.
I'm sorry, what's garbage?
Thanks for the
The new
advice.
treasure.
Oh, God.
Well, see, the thing, Isley, is that we are featuring a bunch of bad fiction here, and we're explaining why and where the author went wrong. Even if we're doing it in an insulting manner and where we belittle the author and their works, it's still, because of how humans work, it sticks in your mind of like, I shouldn't do that. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Consequences work far better than rewards usually.
unfortunately, yeah. But anyway, back to this shit heap. Uh,
At this point, I'm actually like doubting that you should even read this further. It only gets worse from
I want to see it as Naruto got to his
By the
feet.
way, Sneaky, this fic is around 280,000 words.
Yes,
You only have some chapters.
I'm aware. As he got to his feet, he noticed Sasuke was stirring as well. He helped his friend up. Sasuke, too, seemed to realize they were not in the elemental
Okay,
nations
the Dark Willow
anymore.
one and the Queen of Pain one.
He
and
tried
the
to
Naga
say
ones aren't
something,
bad.
but was cut off when they felt two familiar chakra sources close in on them.
I'm sorry, what was that?
In this meta, who plays any of these three heroes?
He tried to say something, but was cut off when they felt two familiar chakra sources close in on them. They turned around to find two people least likely to be found together talking like old friends. Those two people are Kaguya Utsuki and her son, Haguro Utsuki. Except they weren't trying to kill each other. It was almost like they were catching up
Sneaky.
with each other's lives. Kaguya then turned around. It was then that Naruto and Sasuke beheld something they thought was fundamentally impossible. Kaguya was smiling. So I was right. These children hold the chakra of my two grandsons. It's a pity I never met them, but I can safely say these fine lads do them justice. She
They actually
spoke.
read these fine lads.
Yeah,
What?
you actually
What the
wrote
fuck
these
is that?
fine lads.
Fine
You
lads.
actually had Kaguya sit there and say, these fine lads.
Oh my god.
You're fired.
Fucking no!
You are massively fired. I don't even write with you, and you're fired.
Oh my god. That's.
I wrote
Anyway, so blah blah
Please locate
blah.
the nearest suicide box and make use of it.
I mean, I could have done that, or I could have gotten better.
I mean, you're currently writing with Sneaky, so...
I mean, that's for fun. I also write a comic. Which, by the way, is coming out this September in stores near you.
He's not kidding about that one.
Well, I can't
Wait,
plug my
do you
comic in your-
expect us to believe that?
What, the comic?
Yeah.
Complete. Do you want me to send you the thing?
I mean, no, because I'll just buy it. Because I'll support a friend.
Alright, then that's perfect. Then September, we started sales in September.
Cool. Send.
Wait,
send me a
September
message.
when?
This September, mid-September around, because it's currently... Like, we only got
Oh,
the...
I was gonna say, if it's on the 5th, it'll be a birthday present.
Not an ad. Could be an ad.
Yeah.
Not gonna be expensive. It's like 30 pages.
Send me a private message with the name of this comic, so I'll
Same.
try and remember it.
Not an ad. Could be an ad.
You know what? I'll see if I can get my brother's website to review it for you.
Oh, that'd be good.
Anyway.
Of course, you might end up being reviewed by my brother, which is his own problem, but hey.
I mean,
blah
I can
blah
send you a
blah
review.
blah 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 blah. I gave you the power of my sons. Can you use them for their intended purpose before you decide to use destructive aspects? Can you sense a single shred of malicious intent from Mother? Naruto's eyes widened. He finally realized why he didn't feel Kaguya's presence when the moment he came to. There was no killing intent. The goddess did not wish to fight. Sasuke, on the other hand, was confused. Just a few moments ago, the docile woman who stood before him was poised to kill him, launching attacks that could eradicate matter at a molecular level. He didn't feel as safe as Naruto did. I needed to get you two out of that world, alone.
And this is the part where she fucks them.
Yes.
No, she doesn't. Really? I
Blah
did try to
blah
say-
blah blah blah. I couldn't do that. I needed to get you out of the world. I'm sorry I had to tell you this, but you cannot go back to the elemental countries. Yukashi could have brought us back. Leaving him behind was a smart move. Or you're forgetting, I'm not the... He's not the... Oh, right, I forgot. Sasuke also knows the Kamui. Because fucking Kishimoto.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yep.
Don't
Huh.
do that, blah blah blah, hear me out, blah blah blah. Sasuke was stunned by the sincerity he heard in Kaguya's voice.
She's like a 10,000-year-old alien who's really good at manipulating people. Guys, she could just be, lying.
Yeah.
Just putting
blah
that out
blah
there.
blah, you can't go back to the elemental nations. You will bring only endless war. I don't see how it's the downside.
Yeah, I would even say also, Max, he cut right there, Sneaky sounded like, oh god, what's the guy from, Metal Gear Solid Revengeance?
Raiden?
No, not Raiden.
Armstrong?
The first guy. No, the
Monsoon?
first guy you meet.
Sundowner.
Sundowner, yeah, he sounded like Sundowner.
What?
Quick, we should get him explosive shields.
I love
Yes.
explosives.
Theme song
That fucking boss.
Hey
fight
guys,
for-
Vsauce Michael
Oh.
here.
That boss fight was amazing.
It was, but like, if you didn't understand the gimmick in the first 10 minutes, you fucking killed yourself so quickly.
Oh yeah. although, look, I'm just gonna say,
Blah, blah,
no
blah,
boss
blah,
fight
blah,
was
blah,
ever
blah,
as
blah.
infuriating
Honestly, this is
or
just...
quite as interesting as Armstrong's.
Yeah, so anyway, this was just a lot of blah blah
So
blah.
this is pretty cool.
Discord, I kind of sent like the test
What?
prints.
And then they're
So,
talking about the
you have idea of
moon,
the order.
and then she gives them powers, and then magic circles appear underneath Naruto and Sasuke.
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
just while Sneaky's going through this and nothing important's happening because we're just looking at somebody's old trash work. The new season of Overlord has started, so you guys can go watch Overlord when you're done here and watch some actually good anime.
So important part. What the fuck did I just drop on my head?
Wait, what? Sneaky, were you balancing the empty booze bottles on your head again?
No. Apparently, I was clapping my hands above my head and managed to smash a fly.
Well,
You
How?
also managed to open a new tab.
Yes, I was saying. We're moving
Well,
on.
you see, I mentioned Overlord, and he immediately went to go watch it. The subconscious suggestions are working.
No. So, if you will all remember, in Sharp, he's replied to me in my review of his story. Star Wars: The Paris Evolution.
Star Wars the what?
The Paris Evolution, Legends Continued.
That sounds dumb.
I kind of remember that. Wait, how long did it take him to reply to that? Didn't we review
4
that fucking
months.
story months ago?
4 months.
Oh, no wonder I forgot about it. I just cycled the trash out.
So he
Every once in a while, I
responded.
just cycle the trash out.
So he
in my head.
responded with, "Go look in book and see how they look before you start whining about my writing style."
You mean the style that looks nothing remotely like a published book?
So, just to keep a reminder to everyone, this is Star Wars: The Legend Continued. Let me actually add this to cover.
More like Star Wars: The Legends, a waste of my goddamn time.
Which, as a reminder to
oh,
everyone,
the Star Wars.
is self-insert OC times Ahsoka. Right? A sequel to another story. And the whole story crosses over with Halo as well. But it's not in the crossover section.
Oh.
Wow, we are the only review to his story.
Yeah. Wow.
Uh,
Don't bitch at the only reviewer.
And as
listen,
a reminder,
if only one person has reviewed your story and it's a negative review, you may want to take that review to heart, even if you may require a few grains of salt with it.
so this is their first chapter.
It has
This
18 chapters.
yes, this is a
And
wall of
19,000
text.
words.
This is a wall of text. Their prologue. Their
Oh, by the
first
way,
chapter,
Max, after our last
Their
chapter,
second
you can
chapter.
no longer complain about walls of text.
their third
Oh,
chapter,
dude.
their fourth chapter. Literally, the entire fucking compromisation of their story is walls of fucking text. And this
Yeah.
guy has the fucking balls to tell me to not whine about his walls of text retarded bullshit.
Atin, Matt.
What?
Okay, so
Because
I
books.
just went to your last chapter, the latest one, and wow, you started like it started with decently sized paragraphs, and you grow.
I want to point out those are Max's preaching. That is
And then
Max
it just-
preaching.
and then it
That's
just stopped
me.
growing, and you're just normal again. And I'm like, okay. What was that? Like, is this supposed to be escalation, but on a different physical plane?
Yes, you've discovered the secret.
Like, it's actually growing. Like, if you look at it, it actually looks like it's growing. Like, each paragraph becomes bigger than the last, and bigger than the last, and bigger than the last one.
And then it just kind
As the weight of their failures grow on them, so too does the length of the paragraphs.
Here's the thing, though. I don't really complain about walls of text because I'm not bothered by them. I'm only bothered when they're actually useless
I'm only
info.
bothered by walls of text when it's just paragraph of wall of text. Okay, fine. Next paragraph's also a wall of text. Next paragraph's also a wall of text. Next paragraph's also a wall of text.
Yeah, meanwhile, like in ours, it's wall of text. Quick shot at
Oh,
trying to
Jesus
redeem
Christ, Max. What the actual fuck?
It's all Max. I want to point out it is
What
all
the
Max.
fuck,
Come on,
Max?
there's a bigger one after me. There we go. And it stops there. See, it stops there. It becomes normal right after.
Why did you do this?
because I don't give a shit. That's the difference.
yes,
I don't
Isley.
give a shit about walls of text. They
Yes.
don't bother me in the slightest.
I'll admit it's partially my fault. I didn't stop him, but he was on a roll.
Alright, so we are now moving on to the official.
If you could have stopped me.
That's what I did in university. Crack.
So, as I am
I mean,
now
that would
posting-
explain several things about your writing style.
No, I actually did crack in university.
as
I
saying.
was being quite serious.
As this is in fact a posting of an author who is not affiliated with us, I do have to give the Twitch mandated and YouTube mandated warning.
Like, listen, if you want to
Don't
harass
harass
me
that
and Max
Don't
or
harass them.
Sneaky and Cruel, go ahead, harass us all you want. We don't care, but don't harass other people.
We can't
Yeah.
bye or proliferate the harassment of others. So use the links I give you responsibly to follow along, but do not contact the office in such a manner.
Yeah, if you want to harass somebody, there's always Max. He will not
I'll
respond.
just sit there and not care.
Exactly.
For that is Saint Max's noble phantasm. I don't care.
Sento Max.
I do not care.
Kerenotto. His noble phantasm is called Thought Begone.
Anyway, so
It just all combat in the area stops. No one cares about the Grail War anymore. It's stupid anyway.
It is the Thought Begone. Why isn't that as power in the fucking Wormfic though? Instant ceasefire.
I feel, well, to be fair, with a power like that, that would just solve all the problems and leave nothing for you guys.
Listen, my fucking noble phantasm would be fetus deleted.
No, you're not allowed to have that.
my noble phantasm would be the Yeetus Cletus. It deletus the fetus.
I get it dark real fast.
What would Atin's noble phantasm be?
Chicago.
The righteous.
No, I just create a complete reality marble of Chicago. You must
Yeah.
survive for 48 hours on the south side. As a normal human.
It's hard to tell the difference between friend and foe.
Yes. Much
And-
like Chicago.
Much
Just like Chicago.
Oh, God.
I would just like to say, the war refugees from Syria left New Jersey.
and they went to Chicago.
Because it
Are
was
they
too
still
violent
alive?
for them?
Are they still alive though?
Probably not.
I mean,
Well, no, they left Jersey, so that's it. They got out.
Anyway,
but they
so
went to Chicago though.
this is Unicrack. This
I mean-
is a CYOA, Choose Your Own Adventure, self-insert story. I am currently writing on sufficient velocity under the name of John Pendragon. It's a self-insert into Gilgamesh's body dropped into Bogdan Bay.
Oh wait.
Bogdan
wait
Bay,
a second.
really? Tell me more about this Bogdan Bay.
Sadly, it's not Bothan Bay, which is the most interesting alternate version of Worm.
Everything is a giant slice of bread!
I actually read a Gilgamesh story in Worm, and it was kind of appalling for how popular it was. I was actually disappointed. I thought it'd be good.
Because, get ready for this. No, so, normally, Worm CYOAs are absolute garbage. Because it's just the author going like, alright, this is what I pick. Ha 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 ha. This is so easy. Ha 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 ha. And then they actually start writing the story and they're like, how do character speaks?
I not know what human interaction is.
Basically. I have always been fascinated by self-insert stories I see on sufficient velocity or space battles.
Yeah, you shouldn't be. They're garbage.
I
I'm not accepting mine from that, by the way. It's also garbage.
Yeah, it is.
Actually,
It's
you know
always
what? I just had
garbage.
an idea. I'm gonna create a game book for Worm. It'll take me a week. I want you guys to beat it.
Beat it? Or better it?
I mean, beat it basically. It's gonna be fucking hard as all. You're gonna begin with literally nothing. You have to find your own trigger event to begin with. Then you get stats. If you die before that, it's fucked anyways.
I'll try it.
What's this, D&D on crack?
Yes.
No, that's the people who are currently making a version of Destiny 2 in 5e.
Give me a second.
That's
Fine.
dumb.
Let me just download the
5e's
software.
dumb.
Okay, look, 5e is a better choice than 4e.
Well, 3.5 is still superior.
I would say 5e does some things better than 3.5.
Like?
Like Advantage, which is, hey, all those situations where you're not sure what kind of modifier to give your players, just give them advantage.
I'll give you the advantage disadvantage system is certainly an improvement. Yes, I'll give you that.
I would say that's about the only improvement, but it is a significant one.
The cantrips.
Yes,
I will
cantrips
say
are actually
the
cantrips
cantrip
are actually
system
useful.
is actually better. Yeah. I have the most experience with AD&D in 2nd edition.
Well, then I
Jesus
feel
Christ.
very sorry for you.
Alright, I have installed Swine. Time to...
Blah 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 blah. I wonder what it would be like to escape this world. I knew such things can't happen. Oh yes, of course. We start every self-insert story with ha ha ha! Look at all those other self-insert stories. That sure looks terrible, but good
Yeah,
thing
but-
that can never happen to me. Oh no, it happened to me. What a twist!
Unlike Might and Max's, which is and Portal. That's how it starts. Portal. Fuck you. Fuck your shitty exposition. Portal.
Yeah. But I am a novice writer, so I don't know much about writing. But I was tired
So
of
I'm
reading.
going to attempt one of the most difficult things in the world to do properly, and even when done properly, it's only about half tolerable.
Yes. But
Pretty
I
much.
was tired of reading awesome choose-your-own adventures and
I
wanted
would
to
say the
write
only
my
exception
own.
to that I can think of offhandedly is probably Masked Up and the sequel.
Honestly, Masked Up is like there was so many self-insert stories I had queued up for the Mass Effect section, like Welcome to the Family and shit, and I just never got around to them because there was like a little bit of a draw there to read it, but
They're just not as good as Masked Up.
yeah,
The end.
pretty much. But anyway, that's not the point. The point here is the author is literally narrating their thought process into doing this thing. Difficulty God mode. Should be easiest to right. Oh, how wrong I was. Oh,
No,
past
listen.
me.
If you're taking Gilgamesh's powers, I don't care who you're fighting in Fate. You have no excuse to lose.
No, the worm.
The worm, I'm sorry.
So that leaves me with 10 whole points.
Even in worm, you have no excuse to lose.
Crossovers. Okay,
Oh.
yep, servants. Of course I'm gonna be Gilgamesh. Yay! 6 points left.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need to back up just a second. Gilgamesh is not God mode. Gilgamesh is whatever the tier above
No.
God mode is in this
No.
CYOA. Like,
No,
Aya
God mode is the
alone.
difficulty.
yeah, no, I know. I'm aware of that.
Okay.
Gilgamesh is whatever tiers above God
Saying
mode in
Gilgamesh should be
difficulties.
all your points.
Like, the fact that you get access to Aya alone, never mind the other causality weapons he has in his vault,
Fair enough.
Aya alone literally rends reality. It is an anti-reality weapon, as far as I'm aware. Like,
Hello,
What the
Calvin.
fuck?
We're unearthing.
I believe that is its classification, yes. Its classification is what the fuck.
So, Calvin, we are currently reading a Fate Stay Night Worm Cross, in which the author literally narrates their thought process and giggles about how they'll never end up as the self-insert that so many other self-insert stories are like. And then suddenly they are the self-insert they created. And this is such a shock to the audience who never saw this coming. Anyway, so the author then proceeds...
Impossible!
The author then proceeds to narrate them rolling dice, air quotes. Yeah, sure. You rolled so many dice. Oh, you just happened to get reality fallout manipulation. Magical feathers. Wait, what is this? Looks up on the Google. Oh hell, dude. This so broken. Let's hope luck hold out. Paint generation. I wasted a point for this. What am I supposed to use paint for? Flood the
Aha!
slaughterhouse
Much
9?
like the fools who don't understand the glory of the pocket sailboat, this man does not understand the glory of paint generation.
Dude, sailboat in a box is by far one of the greatest things in 3.5.
No, Sneaky, you are forgetting the true greatest thing ever, pocket ladder.
No, honestly, the best thing to ever to fuck with DMs in 3.5 is the urn of ever-flowing water.
Yeah, okay, yes, that is indeed the
You
best.
come
but-
across a dungeon. Is it down? Yes. I take out my urn of ever-flowing water. Oh, god damn it.
Geezer!
Anyway, asterisk. Praise to every god. Asterisk. Rolls dice. Fantasy world creation. That's what I'm talking about. Woo,
I was gonna
yeah.
say, listen here, you idiot. I can think of several gods who would not
Nothing.
appreciate being lumped into a praise to all the gods, and would in fact sink your roll.
But I might have been too excited as I knocked my soda onto my laptop when my laptop exploded, engulfing me in electricity and sucking me into the wormverse.
That's not how any of this works. Also, not what they wrote. Please tell me it's not what they wrote. I'm not looking right now. I'm enjoying the last of my pretzel.
Sorta.
It's not exactly what happened, but it's borderline what happened.
Oh god.
Also, they entered a simulated reality. Experiment number, fuck you.
Oh, good. So now they're just playing Fate Extra. Got it.
Yes, so they're playing Fate Extra in the Wormverse as a self-insert Gilgamesh from a choose-your-own-adventure who has access to magical feathers, world creation, and paint.
Okay, mate, you are literally Gilgamesh with access to a reality marble. You have no reason to lose anything ever.
Back.
So, that was the thing. Okay, so to catch you up, Cruel, The laptop exploded when he poured soda on it, and it engulfed him in a fiery ball of electricity that transported him into a synthetic voice world, where the synthetic voice told him he was starting up a reality simulation. And that's the end of the chapter. And I love how he see, after being the person who writes like 10 to 20k chapters for each update to their stories, I love it when authors go, the future chapters will be way longer. I'm like, what do you mean way longer? Oh wow, it's 2k words long. That's...
Yeah, and then you have that nice reminisce of like, I remember when 2k was a lot.
I remember when I wrote TK words. That was a single scene.
It's just like, I was a scrub.
But anyway, so yeah, that was Unicrack. And...
I didn't even get to see Gilgamesh being Gilgamesh.
No, you didn't. Alright, so
Seriously.
I thought I saw Seki right here. Yeah, hello, Seki Rayfic.
No.
So this was brought to you by Zexels.
No.
No!
Prepare to suffer,
Damn it.
for it is your fate. It is your fate to suffer. It is your fate to die. So, anyway, as I was saying, this is a Sekirai fic, and it is called The Meetings of Fate. Kazuku Hitigaru is your average Ronin. I believe in Japan now they call Ronin people who, like, failed
Jobless
their...
bums.
Yeah. They're not like meats.
Samurai without a master Ronin.
I know what a normal
Ronin-
Ronin is, but I mean, like, in
Oh, yeah,
modern
no.
Japan.
Yeah, modern Japan and Ronin is someone who just keeps failing entrance exams.
Yeah, a bum.
Like, that's what, I can't even remember the fucker's name. But that's what the main character in Sekirei
Minato.
is referred to at one point, I think, because he
Minato,
kept
yeah.
fucking up his exams. The fuck is his name?
Who failed the entrance exams due to a mistake. Now he prepares to take the exam again when, due to a chance encounter, becomes the Lightning Twins master and is forced to participate in the Sekirai plan to protect those he loves and his friends while keeping a normal life in the midst of chaos. OC self-insert harem.
Why has it been nothing but self-inserts tonight?
It hasn't been nothing but self-inserts. It just happens to be a majority of self.
Unless Kel wants to share something with the class that we didn't get to in that story yet.
What? What's true? What?
I guess he just wasn't paying attention.
Now you're reading like General
because-
Zod from Man of Steel. No, I'll
Wait.
take that.
I'm sorry, did someone say kneel before Zod?
Kneel before Zod! Like how a self-insert character in a fighting game whose moveset is just copying other canonical fighters. That'd be interesting, actually.
I mean, that actually exists, though.
Oh, yeah?
There are characters in fighting game, like, Tekken was famous for, Mokujin, which is a training dummy that every single fucking round uses a different stance from another character. So anyone
then
using
there's
Mokujin
Bond
probably memorized all, like, 1,000 plus moves in the game.
Except he
That's
got
actually
everything
impressive.
with more potency than normal.
Yeah. Fuck
Then
that
there's
character.
that dude as well, Quan Chi from Mortal Kombat. He could do
Oh, yeah,
something.
Quan Chi just straight up steals other people's moves.
Yeah.
Like it's not a new thing in fighting games. It's just very rare because they eventually have the realization of, wow, this is stupid and highly technical.
Zex says it's always funny when I claim he's responsible for a fic, and my response is, Zex, you are responsible for this fic. I would have never found this fic unless if your program hadn't given it to me. So, as such, you are responsible for this fic. Indirectly, I suppose.
This abomination is your fault.
It's always his fault.
At this point, I think now we're just waiting for him to make up a program that, based on pre-established parameters, just starts writing its own shitty fic for us to review.
Yes.
Oh no, there's
There's
already a Google AI to do that
There's
for
your
us.
next goal, Zex. Write a program that writes shit fanfiction.
You have to beat Google at their own game.
Worm never interested in me. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's a.
That's a shame.
That's
Somebody-
interesting.
Good. It's very fun.
Yeah.
It's even more fun when you're like, oh, I'll just make a Raffle Stomp character. Oh dear Christ. No, they're dead.
Yep. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Actually, decent writing. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. This is like actually decent writing, except the premise is just garbage.
The premise essentially is just Sekirei, but different main character.
It's like, wow, this toilet is plated in gold and smells like lavender. But it's still a toilet, filled with shit. It's unfortunate, but just that's just the way it is. No, I'm not gonna say people can't do this sort of thing. I'm never gonna say that. But it's like, keep your power fantasies to yourself. Because no one likes reading someone else's power fantasy.
Weirdly enough, people do like reading.
I was about to say, you're clearly wrong, Sneaky, by the amount of people that go specifically looking for other power fantasies.
No, I'm
Like,
not saying people don't read
don't
power
think-
fantasies. I'm saying people typically don't like someone else's power fantasy. And being
There
that
are-
this fic has only 68 favorites, I'm gonna say I'm probably right on that.
Okay.
I mean, the Demon
but-
Lord's hero is basically somebody's power fantasy, and people love that.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
but
like
it's
even
Naruto. But the key part there is it's
Neither of them are
Naruto.
That
Or
doesn't-
Shiro or whatever.
Neither of them are Naruto.
It's
A Demon
Shiro.
Lord's, a Demon Lord's.
Demon Lord's hero is Shiro.
is,
But that's the point,
Okay.
though, is it doesn't matter how Shiro acts, they can think of it as their own power fantasy.
yeah, that's the thing.
and that's why it's
Naruto,
popular.
Shiro, Minato from Persona.
Yeah,
all
it-
these characters are very easy.
But what
for
I'm
anybody
saying
to-
is this is a self-insert OC having a power fantasy. Not many people are interested in that. Now,
Yeah.
to be fair, self-insert OCs do work when you're like, this is how I would approach this situation, like what Masked Up does. And that's like, this is my idea, my personal idea. If I was in the Masked Up universe, how I think I would act. That can be interesting. But if it's sort of like your friend telling you a dream that they had about how they beat up Superman, and it's just like, yep, sure, dude, yep, I'm sure you really got him.
Yep, he totally couldn't stand up to you, you absolute normie.
Yeah, it just
And the normal person's like, and then he kicked the shit out of me at the very end.
yeah. But you know,
Or
if it's like, oh, you know, I had this really weird dream of Naruto fighting Superman, and he proceeds to describe it, and you're kind of interested because you kind of want to see his opinion on what Naruto versus Superman would look like. But you're not too interested in what his own little personal power fantasy of
Well, I was
beating
gonna
up
say,
Superman looks.
The answer to that question comes down to, does chakra count as magic?
Yes.
Then in that case, Naruto wins hilariously quickly.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You're thinking of the game Worms. Anyway. Yeah, no, self-insert OCs can be written. They can be written well. They can be written well for multiple different genres. Hey guys, this is my power fantasy. No, not really. To be honest, I think the best fantasy would be being stopped by Wonder Woman, but that's just me. Yeah, well, not all of us like being tied up, Calvin.
In fact, most of us don't, because we don't like 50 Shades.
Anyway, so, blah 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 blah. Like I said, it's actually, like, well-structured and written works. But it's got some cheap anime humor in here, like he's pushing his hair down. Oh my god, why does my hair always spike up every single time? Blah blah blah. He goes about his average day, and he's looking in the mirror and closely observes his face down to the centimeter so he can properly describe it to himself in his head. For some reason. I mean, maybe, here's another one, that an actual use for the mirror. You're shaving, right? You could probably describe your face using shaving as a reason.
Well, specifically if it's a new face.
Yeah, I guess, but it's better than just, I splashed water on my face. My face is 170 centimeters in diameter, and it's got a square jaw with oval edges on my cheekbones. Like, who the fuck actually does that? I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking for myself
No,
here.
Sneaky, extreme narcissist.
Yes, extreme narcissist. Nailed it.
Nice.
It's a new face. What are you, Handsome Jack?
I might be. You're not smart enough to know that.
Anyway, blah blah blah, my stomach's upset, he's thinking about the sky, but he's using dialogue quotations for some reason. He's info dumping.
Well, you see, Sneaky, he needs to have a soliloquy about the sky.
He entered into a flashback that started with single unitalicized quotations telling the history of Sekirei, and then for some reason started using shit, what the fuck are those? Tildes to quote out paragraphs like it's a bullet point or something. And then now he's using a combination of tildes and double quotes to indicate speech and thought. I mean, you were doing so good, author, that you're just like, hey, time for
I was
my
just saying,
writing
there had to be
skills
something
just fucking
fucking up.
go off the cliff.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Sneaky? He fell off the what?
He fell off a cliff. His skill fell off a cliff.
I thought you said quest, and I was like, he does know it's supposed to be wagon, right?
What? Oh,
Yeah, they fell off the wagon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was sitting there like, what the fuck would wagon replace quest?
Wagen.
Oh.
Wagen.
Krankenwagen.
I used Discord without a guide. It only took me 2 months. Congratulations.
Listen, it took you 2 months to figure out Discord. We may have to revoke your intelligence.
You must turn in your intelligence card. Anyway, so he had a
Indeed.
stomach ache, and okay, so he had a stomach ache and got distracted by thinking about the history of New Tokyo, and accidentally answered all of his questions one rank down. So question 1 was answered in the question 2 slot, and etc. etc. So he answered his
Gotcha.
whole
The
test
author's
one line below the appropriate section. And so therefore he was failed, and it's just like, yeah.
Man, I have depth perception problems, and if I look at things for too long, I can forget where my eyes are, and I didn't get away with that. So
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on now. The author keeps tildeing, and I'm really confused why the author keeps tildeing.
Well, clearly.
Why
it's
are
to
there
confuse
4
you.
tildes now? Why is that
Sneaky,
in double
you don't understand.
quotes?
He's getting paid by the tilde.
What the fuck is going on? Why is there so many quotation marks? Oh, it's because 2 people were talking at the same time. What?
Oh no!
Is that what...
I hate when I start talking over my brother and tildes just start appearing.
No! Wait. Oh god. Is he using 2 tildes instead of a quotation mark at the start of
Yes.
each one?
Yeah.
What
Dude, I don't know either. Dude, I have been trying to figure that out the entirety of this fic. Because he was doing fine at the start. Like, right at the start of this fic, he was using double quotation marks just fine. And then suddenly, out of the fucking blue, he's just like, tildes are like that too, right?
What the fuck?
Also, Atin, did you know depth perception is just a matter of perspective?
Jesus.
Get the fuck out. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that shit joke.
Is your brother named Sam?
I've heard that shit joke a lot too.
What was the really shit supernatural joke that I made to you when I met you?
God, I don't remember.
No, I think it was actually something along the lines of, like, I would make a supernatural joke, but I'm sure you've heard them all.
Yeah, I was like, well, you're better than half the people in this goddamn college. Half of them made Sam and Dean jokes, and the other half made incest Sam and Dean jokes.
Oh.
Oh, I'm not joking about that, by the way. Sneaky, do you remember he was a real nice guy, but he was...
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
The gay one always wore the dress shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was, like, fishing for information or what, but I was like, no. The answer is no.
No, that was good shit.
What a checkered past you two share.
Yeah, it sucks.
Sucks to suck!
Like, I've physically met him in real life. It's kind of horrible.
I'm like a battery acid.
Yeah, your face is pretty rough.
Blah, blah, blah. Why do we have to do this? We should have found CO already. Blah, 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 blah. Why do we have to work like this? If the NBA gave us cash cards, why didn't they give it to us? Calm down. Once we find CO, they'll give it to us. I hope so. Get to work. Yes, manager. Both twins stare into each other's eyes. Let's give the manager a lesson he won't forget. I don't understand the double tilde. This is bothering me so much.
Do you think they couldn't figure out how to do quotations, so they just double tilde'd and hoped no one would notice?
No, because the problem is they end every dialogue with a quotation mark.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
There it is.
that's
They
the
fixed
problem
it.
that Sneaky
They
and I are
found
having.
it out. They figured it out. They found the second quotation mark.
We've done it! We found the legendary second quotation mark of the East Indies!
Yeah.
Scene change. train station. Damn, it was so crowded. I thought it was gonna be good considering the weather. I can cross that off the list. Oh no, I am super late if I don't hurry. Blah 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 blah. Oh wow, a maid cafe. I better head inside. Oh wow, are those girls twins? Wow, one of them has a smaller chest.
If you're ever actually in Japan, don't go to a maid cafe. It's all a trap.
It is a trap. In fact, the maids are all traps.
I was gonna say, that joke has 2 layers.
Just like a trap.
Oh God, no.
You two done?
Yes.
Probably.
Anyway, he was looking at them, but
remember,
he saw...
folks, for only $10,000 a piece, you can see me, Sneaky, and Max in maid costumes. $10,000 a piece.
Indeed. He felt something resonate deep inside him as he stared at these pure girls in their maid outfits. It wasn't greed or lust, for they were beautiful.
Max has not objected, therefore, according to Illinois law, he has consented.
There was only one word to describe these twins. They were lovely. Nothing more needed to be said. For these lovely girls were lovely, and they were pretty, and their faces flushed red when they saw him. This was how Kazuha Hitageya.
No, you know where my P.O. box is.
Okay, you know, I thought that was just me being me, but his name is literally Hitageya.
Yeah, Hidagaya. I think is how it would be pronounced.
Hitageya. First met the sisters and became involved in more than he could have ever imagined. It's so cringy. It is so cringy. Oh
not
no!
the cringiest thing
I'm
we've ever
gonna be
read.
late to my exam. Is that a maid cafe? Oh well, I'll just get a bite to eat here.
Clearly, that person has never actually been a college student because they think they have money to go to someplace like a goddamn maid cafe. When you're a college student, you're like, oh, that's a place I'd like to go if I had money. Hey, look, it's the 50-cent ramen vending machine. I can eat tonight.
No, Atin, it's worse than that. I can't eat this. Why not? It costs money.
What kind of college life did you guys lead?
America.
Okay, I don't think you understand how college in America works, my friend. There are 2 kinds of college students. There's 98% of us who lived off of meal plans we begged from our parents and 50-cent ramen, and then the rich kids who ate at restaurants every night.
Yeah.
Alright. I sit somewhere in the middle. I basically cook my own stuff every day.
You think we had kitchens?
I mean, we did have kitchens later on. It's just...
Okay, when you made it to, like, your junior year and you could get an off-campus apartment that was still subsidized. Your freshman and your sophomore years? Good fucking luck.
In uni here, you could just earn. I've been living out.
I mean, the issue, Atin, is that you're basing it off of your college, which after
and my brother's college, and many colleges that my friends have attended.
Okay, I guess the South just has higher standards for once.
Because people actually know how to cook in the South. You know how I learned to cook? I took a 2-week course at my high school. That's what enables me to not starve.
I'm not going to lie. I actually wish I moved down to Florida earlier. I didn't bother with Vermont and just straight up went to the Florida State University because holy shit, it's actually really good. And if I lived in Florida when I would apply there, I would have been able to go there for around $2,000 a semester.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well, Florida State also has, like, fairly low requirements, but they have a pretty good turnover rate for grads. So
what I'm hearing is Florida State actually does what a state college should.
Yes.
yeah, wow. That's just weird to think about.
A state college doing its job, or
No, the South having higher standards than the North in something. And my God, we're content to watch cars go around in a circle at 200 miles an
And
hour.
another left turn!
no, let's be fair. It's because the South isn't allowed to engage in blood sport with their slaves anymore, so all you can do is wait for someone to crash.
He does have a fair point.
I can't even necessarily deny that.
I know you can!
I
But
mean...
fuck it, my family came over on boats, and I've got Cherokee in me somewhere along the bloodline. So
Doesn't that mean a rape occurred?
I honestly have no idea, and I wasn't too keen to find out.
Fair enough.
And now you're gonna hear the story of how your grandpappy raped 43 Indians under General Custer.
Nice.
Alright then. How about this? Brought to you
I'm
by
so glad I know how to
Zexels.
What the fuck is this?
Harry Potter and Sword Art Online.
How the fuck is this even gonna work? There's no magic in SAO.
Poorly. It has, by the way, this is a Miss Insane one fix, so it's going to be actually somewhat good, but really questionable in terms of plot. She has a bad habit of like writing maybe 100k words of a fic and then just never coming back to it.
Ooh.
Now, however, she has been updating this fic since 2014, and it did just update in February, and it's currently at its almost 300k word mark. So it does seem like this is one of her few fics that she's actually gonna fucking write. And keep in mind again, I'm not knocking her stories. They appeal to an audience. Sometimes I'm in that
An audience, huh?
Sometimes I'm in that audience that it appeals to. Usually I'm not, because her stories can get
Yeah.
weird.
Why is there a Darkest Dungeon mod to replace the Necromancer's face with Nicolas Cage?
Why isn't there?
No, Sneaky, there is.
No, that was his response.
Yeah, why shouldn't there be one?
Because I don't. Why
Zex-
should he be?
Nicolas Cage has. He's been a meme for the last like 6 years.
I am fully aware. If anyone ever wants to watch bad Nicolas Cage movies, we have a ton of them at Family Video.
Family Video, I'm pretty sure only exists up north with you Yanks now.
It only exists in
Probably.
Chicago, actually.
No, there's some in Indiana.
There's a couple in Ohio as well.
Oh! Indiana and Ohio. Such important states.
Cincinnati and Columbus, so
I would also
was
like
gonna
to
say.
point out that somehow Illinois has twice the GDP of Norway, and I'm exceedingly confused. What the fuck does
Ow.
Illinois even produce?
I don't.
Well, A, we have Chicago, you moron. B, we make all of the United States' arcade cabinets. And we have a shit ton of industrial parks.
Still, dude, when I heard that, I
I
was
was
just
gonna
like,
say all that, and
Illinois.
we've got the second highest debt in the nation, I think.
I was just sitting there, I was like, Illinois has got around 800 billion GDP. Meanwhile, Norway has got around 400 billion.
I mean, we
GDP.
also have more people than Norway, I bet.
Yes, but you also have more murder than Norway, I bet.
Sneaky, we have more murders than anywhere. We have St. Louis and Chicago. We are the murder capital of the first world. The first.
Isley says the main export of Illinois is body bags.
I mean, he's probably not wrong.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so Zek says Miss Insane 1 writes canon compliant trash. I can't exactly endorse that statement because I do remember one Naruto Harry Potter story in which Harry Potter went through the Veil of Death, popped into the Naruto world as the Master of Death, but also Grill.
Interesting.
It's very specific.
And I was sitting there like, what? And then she adopts Naruto. Harry Potter the adopts Naruto as a little brother and becomes his semi-adoptive mother / older sister. I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck?
You're also just kind of like, why am I still reading this?
Oh, snap!
I
Max,
stopped.
there's a Slave Knight Gale skin for the leper. I might actually use that.
Wait, that one I don't do. Okay, so you can
Oh, that might get me to play that game.
Mo, Seron.
Oh, by the way, Max,
Dark
there's
Souls
actually
is
quite a few Dark Souls ones. You can turn the Crusader into Ornstein.
Anyway, so the summary. It has always been said that magic and technology did not mix. Too bad no one ever mentioned that little fact to young Harry Potter. Add in one mad genius bent on destroying the lives of 10,000 people by trapping them inside of his online reality virtual reality game, and you have the makings of a very dangerous brew. Disclaimer. Usually I write out disclaimers to explain exactly what it is I don't own, but I find myself not interested in doing it as it is tedious. Suffice to say, this is a fanfiction. Congratulations! You have finally learned that the stories you post on fanfiction.net are fanfictions! Everyone give her a round of applause! Can you tell my spite for this person?
Nah,
Yes.
you're being too subtle about
The
it. I'm sorry.
timelines of Sal and Harry Potter have been artificially adjusted to align the story the way I want it to. Harry Potter's timeline takes place 30 years later.
So now the author's going to have to answer the question of why don't you just get someone with a sniper rifle to shoot Voldemort in the head?
Actually, the author would have even more justification because it was actually in the 90s itself that Britain did not have the gun laws it has now. It was only around 2001 that they implemented the gun laws that Britain is currently known for. And actually, in the early on timeline of Harry Potter, getting a gun, like a pistol, to shoot Voldemort with would have been exceedingly easy to do.
Yeah.
This actually helps their argument. But the problem here is that a lot of the reasons and things that happen in Harry Potter happened the way they happened due to the culture and technology prevalent at that time. Like, you can't exactly imagine Harry Potter in 2011. Like, Harry is born in the year 2010, orphaned in 2011, and due to go to Hogwarts in 2021. Like, you can't imagine Harry Potter in the Dursleys' home in 2018 not being able to acquire a smartphone and posting to Twitter a video of his living conditions.
Well, I mean, hell, like, just knowing that he has the ability to call CPS.
I mean, yeah, but that was always a thing, and it's usually...
Actually, in fact, the only way the Dursleys could get away with it in year 2018 is if they just don't let him go to school.
Well, I mean, not only that, it's the whole victim culture that's currently prevalent that was not there in the 90s. And Harry Potter, growing up in the 2018-esque culture of victim, and clearly if you're a victim, you must go onto the internet to gain victim sympathy points. He would go onto the fucking internet and gain some victim sympathy points because he's an actual abused child.
No,
Who-
he's white, so he'd be yelled at for derailing it from people who actually.
Yeah, but he might declare himself as trans and gay or something because that's just the culture of the time.
You know, I'm legit curious how SAO's like 2010s actually developed.
Also, the timeline of Sal has been moved back 3 years, so everyone is trapped in Sal in 2019. Additionally, Dudley is now 3 years older than Harry.
So why?
You okay there, Sneaky?
Yeah, so, anyway, so blah blah blah. The reason I'm doing this is so Dudley can be over the age limit required to get the implant that allows a character to be born into Sal. Vernon probably could spend any amount he wants to get Dudley one a little bit early. No, Vernon was not rich in the fucking slightest. I can't
Vernon
see
was
a 9-year-old
completely
being
average.
looked at while a very fat 12-year-old might. This also gave Dursleys more time as a family together before Harry was thrust into a life of magic, and therefore more reason for them, Dudley in particular, to resent Harry's
Yeah,
presence.
Max, for real, just go onto the Steam store. Just go into the Darkest Dungeon mod section. Just type in Dark Souls. I think you'll be pleased with the number of results.
Finally, all characters and players within the game Sal will speak Japanese. Okay, fair enough, except if a person in England is getting this, then it would be safe to assume that there would either
They
be
have
some
different
sort of
servers.
language translation in there, or...
Well, he'd also have to just straight up be in Japan, because
Different
They-
servers.
yeah, well, no, not even different servers. SAO was only
Yeah,
released in
Region
Japan.
law.
Region lock!
Like, Egil is an American, but he moved to Japan a couple of years prior.
Yeah, right.
So,
Well, everything will be
There
in
better be a-
Japanese to
better be a student
differentiate
exchange
from
program
Harry's
happening here.
English. Despite what point of view is used, as usual, I won't be using too many Japanese words so I don't butcher it. Alright,
And
so
you know what? We appreciate that.
I am not reading this story, and the reason as to why I'm not reading this story is because it commits one of the biggest fucking problems I have with authors when they try and write stories like this. Noodlehammer is a good example of someone who breaks this trope. And by good example, I mean he's like one of the only examples, and by good, I mean his story is fairly meh.
Readable.
But it's readable, and it actually has like technology in it that has an impact and changes how the story progresses due to the timeline it's taking place in. And while I give him kudos on that, I still don't like it, but I'll give him kudos on the fact that he actually accounted for it. But I fucking despise, with a passion, stories that accelerate the Harry Potter timeline. Because even fucking J.K. Rowling herself, as much as I despise the bitch, has come out and said, the reason I set Harry Potter in the time that I set him in was not only to make him sympathetic and empathetic to the reader base I was aiming at, which means to say the first book came out when we were in first grade. I believe that was 2001, right? Harry Potter.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. On top of that, it was aimed at our demographics as we grew older, etc., etc. But she also said, due to the technology developments that occurred later on, past the 1990s, I judged it would be too hard to write a story with that sort of technology in it and still keep certain things like magic and the way it was done secret. And she raises a good point with that.
I mean, the Dresden Files handles it pretty well, I think.
The Dresden Files also has a shitload of death and murder in it.
Yes, but very little of that has to do with protecting magic.
Yes, that is true. That's fair enough. But the
Yeah,
point
but
being is that
Justin, like
Yeah.
it's a different genre altogether is the issue.
well,
I mean,
I'll grant you
not only that, but the whole
The
point.
modern books are meant for children, and that is the biggest defining characteristic. Dresden
I
Files,
said I'll grant you that.
like
But
I wasn't arguing.
The other point there, though, is the fact that the Harry Potter series, the whole statue of secrecy thing itself, is set up on the supposition that cameras aren't too developed yet, that there is no real thing such as video surveillance cameras yet. And fucking 1991 computers? Yeah.
yeah,
Like, the reason why the careless wizards, because they were most certainly described and portrayed as careless and technologically inept wizards, who didn't know two shits what the difference between a light bulb, a camera, and a gun was.
I mean, for crying out loud, they ask things like, what is the function of a rubber ducky? I get that's part joke, but, like, really?
Yes. Like, the whole thing there is that they just are not aware of the modern world. And in the 90s, I can't speak too much about the existence of security cameras and the development over timeline, but I can't imagine, if they existed, I can't imagine they would even be remotely good enough to tell if the person throwing around their wand, what their name or face was. Usually, if they existed, because I'm not gonna spend the time to look all this shit up. If security cameras somehow existed back in the 1991s and earlier, I cannot imagine they would be used as anything else aside from corroboration to already known evidence. Of, we know you were here at X place. Here is security camera footage showing someone who looks vaguely like you shooting someone else. That's the best we got. Because I know even nowadays, it wasn't until like fucking 2014 to 2016 that we actually got genuinely good security cameras that recorded beyond 360p.
360 sneaky, that's generous. Come on, it was like 144p.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry.
okay, well, yeah, no. During the 90s, digital CCTVs would have actually been in quite a bit of practice. So
Oh, yeah, okay.
actually, they still would have been caught. Actually,
But how good was the quality of that shit?
um,
I can't imagine it'd be too good.
I'm honestly not sure. It doesn't tell me what the resolution of these things was. Just that digital multiplexing was developed during the 90s.
Mhm.
So that's also apparently when we got time lapse and motion only recording, and that was
Right.
all transferred over into the CCT
Security
systems.
cameras, right.
Yeah, and VCR technology became available in the 70s, so video surveillance started becoming more common as a result.
Right.
Once VCRs
Well,
became
I mean,
commercial.
Even then, the other problem comes up in that the records don't exist. So you got someone who's waving a wand around, and people are like, oh, that's just gonna be like shitty like footage from a movie or something like that. So you still kind of got that because definitely
Not necessarily. Keep in mind, this was a time in which you show someone video footage, there's a likely chance that they will think it's real unless you give them the context of this is completely fictional.
Really? I mean, like, this is
Incidents, radio incidents like War of the Worlds is one I'll always point to.
yeah.
Of people need to be given context.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I will give you that. I will give you that. It was a more believing era.
Yeah, like, honestly, the people who were crowing about the moon landing being fake and all that TV footage being faked were actually in the overwhelming minority of voices. So.
That's fair enough. But yeah, so even then, though, I personally don't feel like.
I mean, either way,
I feel like maybe it was the beginning of the end for the Wizards, but I still feel like J.K. Rowling made a good choice when she chose the time period for it to
Oh.
take place in.
She most definitely did. I mean, hell, just make it. Let's be fair here. 5 years later, things probably might have been fucked up. 10 years earlier could fuck things up. Making the dumb decision to put it in America during any time period
Yeah.
would have fucked things
that
up.
would have been hilarious.
Like, so
My
how do we
name is
actually...
Voldemort, and I'm a wizard of darkness.
Why is he Southern? If anything, he would be from New York City.
Yeah, I was about to say, like... Pretty sure he'd be a Yank.
Well, okay, look, if he's gonna be a Yank, then he has to have a hard Chicago accent so everyone can laugh at him.
I just love that thing of, like, I'm taking over. Mr. Capone does not take kindly to your comments, sir.
I run Chicago's mob now.
I think, personally, have you guys ever seen Romeo and Juliet Modern Edition?
Yes.
Which one? There are a couple of modern editions.
I think he means the one with the gun.
Yeah.
The one that happened, the one that took place in South Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that one was great.
That
Like,
was
they
fantastic.
what's the gun brand? Oh, their sword.
Yeah.
Oh, that's clever.
I was like, okay,
Fuck
fuck you, but okay.
Fuck you, but well played. Yeah, no, that one, I really like that one, and I think the Harry Potter series done as a 60s greaser movie would work excellently.
You know what? I'd like to see that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Voldemort and the Death Eaters come out snapping as they slide. Harry Potter and
Hell
Dumbledore's army come out
yes.
snapping.
Oh, that would be something. We can give Harry the pompadour, right?
Of course.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Okay, wait,
No.
wait.
I'm the one who
wait.
gave you that pompadour, Harry Potter.
His pompadour has a lightning-shaped birthmark, has a lightning-shaped white streak in it.
Yes.
Okay, but wait.
Yes.
What happened?
They call
to
him
Ron?
Greased Lightning, not the boy who lived. Greased
Greased
Lightning.
lightning. Yes. I approve. What happens to Ron though?
Oof.
Ron's got like the slick back.
No, yeah, Ron's clearly a greaser.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
know he's a greaser, but like, okay, so then,
He's
Okay.
got
so
Ron
Hermione's
has
going to
learned
be
how
in a
to use
poodle skirt.
Of course.
Yeah,
Ron
and
has
Ron
learned how to
has
use a
a
tire iron. That's the biggest difference.
Ron uses a tire iron.
All the Max, all the wands are replaced with tire irons.
Oh
Yeah.
no! Oh, I would love to see that.
Now
so...
that tire iron is from a Ford Mustang, boy.
Oh,
Very powerful.
God, I would just.
All the best wands come from American muscle cars.
It's just like a quick aside from here. It's like, so why are all the wizards here so like surprisingly buff? Oh well, when we run out of magic, we just start swinging.
Well, you see, darling, when we run out of magic, we just start swinging.
Let's see, what else? Well, okay. What did the broomsticks get replaced with?
Motorcycles.
I mean, this is acceptable.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, just
Cadillac. Everybody
straight
get a
up,
Cadillac.
just motorcycles.
No, Sneaky. They're all replaced by bicycles with baseball cards in the spokes.
No, that's only for Harry Potter's group.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's for the trainees.
No,
That's when they're
what are
first
the four
getting
houses
learned.
is my question.
Huh?
What are the 4 houses?
Okay,
The four
Slytherin
houses-
doesn't change at all.
The-
Slytherin's still just Slytherin.
The 4 houses would keep the same names. Honestly, the 4 houses have no reason to change. The only difference is that occasionally flash mobs occur. Sometimes the flash mob off.
It's clearly the Claws, the Puffers, Slytherin,
Snakes?
and
The
Roar.
tunnel snakes.
Oh, the Slytherins are the tunnel snakes in that
Yeah,
version.
exactly.
Then.
Tunnel Snakes rule!
And like occasionally in the middle of the hallways, like dance-offs just occur.
Of course, that's what their shoulders brushed, Max. Of course, they need to dance off.
Yeah, and there's only like they have like a national anthem. No, sorry, a university anthem, which is basically a Dustland fairy tale by the Killers, or Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, instead of cigarette packs, they all just have the stupid jelly
Wigs.
beads
They all just have
in their shoulder, in their sleeves.
No, dude, it's the candy cigarettes.
Oh, of course, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I actually forgot about those.
I actually love those. And then I moved to real cigarettes. I'm like, fuck, this is wrong with
Oh
me.
man, that. Oh god, there's a lot of stupid shit you can just change for the hell of it.
Should we sit down and send a draft to J.K. Rowling to see if she'll approve of our greaser-fied Harry Potter?
Listen, we'll write it up and we'll send it to J.K. Rowling and see what she thinks.
Well,
Hagrid's like a novel.
Oh god, yeah, just to really. I'm trying to think now. The stupid shit you can do, like you can only use magic during duels, and during duels you must be dancing.
Of course.
Yeah.
The other hand
And,
has
like,
to be snapping at all times.
Harry's parents were dead simply because they lost the dance off, and the agreed upon rule was whoever loses gets hit with the what was it?
No, Harry's
Abercurse
parents are dead because they tried to jump the shark.
in the shark one.
And of course, Hogwarts has to be in the middle of a cornfield.
What?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Hogwarts. Let's see. Where should we?
It has to have a garage bigger than the actual building.
Well, no.
Obviously.
Hogwarts is just moved to America.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of Texas.
No, Hogwarts would just be a typical greaser high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, just.
But you say the way you get into Hogwarts is you have to go through the 9 3/4 garage.
No. See, you don't do that. You just have to yell your hair enough.
No. I'm saying physically entering it.
All right.
A 9 3/4 garage, indeed.
Yeah. You gotta use your
And the wizard, Sneaky, the wizards run a chop shop out of it on the side to explain all the weird stuff.
Of course.
And obviously, this has to be set in Jersey.
Alabama.
I don't. I think
No,
New
come
York
on.
would be
It's
better.
research.
I think New
I
York
guess-
City would be better.
Is it who handles like erasing of memories?
Obliviators.
Obliviators have to do their work by striking people in the backside of the head now for the spell to properly activate. So there's constant cases of, like in other news, serial muggings continue in blank city.
Nope, New York. Now it has to be New York.
No, there we go. Hog City.
We have to have it in the South because all the house elves needs to be Mexican.
No.
Yes.
What?
No.
Wait,
All the
what?
house elves are Mexican.
That's not a greaser
No,
movie.
listen. If we set it in New York, all of the house elves will be Irish.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
You gotta keep in mind, this
If
is
it
a
was set in
60s
Chicago,
greasers
all the
movie.
house elves would be Polish.
Yeah. And
No,
Green
because
Box, mind
seriously,
you.
seriously,
no, that's
this is a
bad.
fact most people don't know about Chicago. We have the highest concentration of Polish people that
Oh.
isn't Polish.
Oh,
Which
I'm
explains
aware.
this.
No, look. I'm aware of that because I actually got a lot of calls about illegal Polish aliens in Chicago.
Oh, there's a lot of them. Also, no one cares. Because here's the thing,
Oh.
right? Illegal Polish immigrants are the nicest people you will ever meet. First of all, they actually learn most
Most of them, usually, yeah.
the really old ones will just yell at you in Polish and they don't give a fuck.
So I set up a fly trap hanging from my microphone stand, and it's already caught 10 flies.
Maybe you should be less. Maybe you should stop being a pile of garbage and attracting flies.
Nah, it's just the season, dude. The mulch outside's rotting.
Oh God.
Yeah. Anyway, we are approaching the end. Good night, Isley. Good night, everyone. Thank you all for joining
Good night,
us today.
everybody.
Aren't you glad we didn't read this story and instead talked for about 20 minutes about a 60s Harry Potter? Please do not steal this. 60s Harry Potter?
Oh no! Listen, we're copywriting this as soon as the stream is over.
61, long brown hair, foolish ass.
Also, listen, we're going to have to work up musical numbers because it cannot be a Greaser movie without musical numbers.
There's going to be an excessive amount of musical numbers.
Good ones.
Yes. Alright, so, good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and you can always see us live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Or you can catch us archived on YouTube from 7 p.m. to, honestly, whenever it finishes updating a week later. So, eventually I'm planning on getting it onto Spotify and SoundCloud and shit, but it's really up in the air how I'm gonna get it there, because I don't have too much wiggle room in terms of uploading and downloading things, and I'm not really sure how to record only audio but stream audio and video at the same time. I could set up two different programs to do it, but I'm not really technologically adept at that. So, that's a future project. Doesn't matter.
I mean, you can just take the audio from this stream.
Yeah, I could, but then I would have to edit the film, and then I would have to render it, and that's literally just 2 hours of rendering.
No, literally, just send me the recording you have.
I can't, dude. It is literally like 45 gigabytes.
All right. Wait, you don't have any video compression softwares? Any encoders?
You can't compress 45.
No, trust me. You don't know how much you can compress that raw footage.
Like I said.
Anyway,
I mean,
are we done? Because
push comes to shove, I can just use some of my resources to just download the stream as a 7 gigabyte MP4.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I could do some sort of thing like that, or I download it off of Twitch, because Twitch makes it like 3 gigabytes large.
Yeah, you could literally. Why don't you just do that?
It's just double format.
I'm a lazy fucking bastard, okay?
You just listed the longest way to do it, and we offer a shortcut, and you're like, I'm too lazy. Motherfucker.
Yeah, but like that's what he always does. Anyway,
I'll see you all next time. You guys remember, there's always more, and it always gets worse.